Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wawasee High School for tonight's junior varsity girls basketball game. Let's meet the starters. First, for the visitors from Columbia City. Number 12, Isabel Knitter. Number 20, Keely McMahon. Number 30, Isabel Miller. Number 34, Joanne Aguia. And number 40, Claudia Strack. The junior varsity is coached by Brandon Marshall. And now here are the starters for the Wawasee junior varsity. Number 10, Audra Weaver. Number 14, Baylin Likens. Number 20, Aowen Fuller. Number 30, Brielle Poucher. And number 42, Scarlett Hardy. The JV Warriors are coached by Trent Beer. Tonight's officials are Eric Abraham and Larry Fielstra. Two points for Strack. Basket's good for Strack. Two points for Hardy. Basket for McMahon. Basket for McMahon. Timeout, Warriors. Basket's good for McMahon. Likens to the line to shoot 2. Fouls on number 40, Claudia Strack, her first, team's first. Fouls on number 30, Isabel Miller, her first, team's second. Fouls on 42, Scarlett Hardy, her first, team's first. Fouls on number 40, Strack, her second, team's third. Two points for Agia. Basket's good for Strack. 2 points for Miller. The end of the first, Warriors 30, Eagles 21. Basket's good for Strap. basket's good for Knetter. She'll head to the line for 1. Fouls on number 4, Taylor Tom, her first, team's first. Fouls on number 30, Isabel Miller, her second, team's first. Jillian Morrow checks in for the Eagles. Aowen Fuller to the line for 2. Fouls on number 10, Eva Kennedy, her first, team's second. Balin Likens checks in for the Warriors. Fouls on number 40, Strack, her third, team's third. Poucher checks in for the Warriors. Fouls on number 40, Strack, her fourth, team's fourth. Fouls on 22, Peyton Bradbury, her first, team's fifth. Likens at the line for two. Hardy checks in for the Warriors. Three for Committer. Halftime score, Wawasee 10, Columbia City 29. Jillian Morrow her first, teams first. Basket's good for McMahon. Two points for Likens. Timeout, Columbia City. Two points, Morrow. Two points, Agia. Weaver checks in for the Warriors. Fouls on 32, Jillian Morrow, her second, team second. Fouls on 22, Bradbury, her second, team's third. Likens checks in for the Warriors. Fouls on 34, Agia, her first, team's fourth. Fouls on 34, Agia, her second, team's fifth. Poucher to the line to shoot. Tom checks in for the Warriors. Hardy's headed to the line for 2, fouls on 32, Morrow her third. Gowan is checking in for the Eagles. The end of 3, Warriors 15, Eagles 35. Fouls on number 14, Baylin Likens, her first, team's first. Bradbury checks in for the Eagles. Gowan to the line to shoot 2. Fouls on Taylor Tom, her second, team second. Hardy checks in for the Warriors. Jillian Morrow checks in for Columbia City. Gowan to the line to shoot 2. Fouls on number 14, Baylin Likens, her second, team's third. McMahon checks in for the Eagles. Basket's good for McMahon. Timeout, Columbia City.
Brutal.
2 points for Tom. Final score, Wawasee 20, Columbia City 39.
It's time for Wawasee Lady Warrior Basketball on CPG-TV and the IHSAA Champions Network. The Lady Warriors will host Columbia City. This year's broadcast is brought to you in part by Brian Wheatrick with Hahn Auctioneers, Northern Lakes Insurance, Sox Marino, Jeremy Dorr with Remax Partners Syracuse, South Shore Social, Goshen Home Medical, Brook Point Resort, Scott Gingrich with the Gingrich Group, Chubby's Pub and Grub, Dynamic Spine and Rehab Center, Northern Lakes Realty, Wallace Plumbing, Heating and Cooling, Quality Engineered Services, Appleseed Eye Care, and the Wawasee Alumni Association. Now, let's take you to the Hardwood Teepee here at Wawasee High School. With the call, here's Joshua Pulaski and Garrett Lash.
Good evening and welcome to the Hardwood Teepee in beautiful Syracuse, Indiana. We've got a competitive competition tonight between your Wawasee Lady Warriors facing off against the Columbia City Eagles. I'm your play-by-play, Joshua Pulaski. Alongside me is my partner and classmate, Garrett Lash. How you doing tonight, Garrett?
Oh, I'm doing good. You know, we played Saturday night here against Northwood, and, we've had a couple days off of broadcasting, but I'm ready to get right back into it, and we'll see what Columbia City has for us tonight. This will be our last broadcast for a couple weeks until Tippy Valley comes to Syracuse. So how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Like you said, we had a game on Saturday, not the result we wanted for the Lady Warriors against Northwood. We're back after 3 days here on Monday for Columbia City, which is also a very dominant team. And like you said, we don't have another home broadcast for 2 weeks until Tippy Valley on the 28th. So it's going to be a very incredild night and then a little bit of a wait for us to come back.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of downtime for us, but that's good. You know, we can get things back in line and see what Tippy Valley has to bring. And, it's good for the players, too. They got a couple games they're traveling to. They're going to be traveling after this game. They'll be going to Mishawaka and Plymouth. So they'll have a couple away games under their belt, which should be nice because it's a different atmosphere for the players and for the coaches, too.
Another to mention about that is both of these are conference games, 2 away conference games in a row. So it's going to put the test to Wawasee Lady Warriors. Now,
we fell to Northwood Saturday, but are they going to come pick themselves back up tonight and get a victory here at the Hardwood Teepee? That's the big question we have to ask ourselves. And are they ready? The last game they played was at home, so are they ready for that next game, that next team that Columbia City is coming in 14-4 tonight. So both teams have really good records, and at the end of the day, what can they prove? What are they going to be able to prove? And it's all going to come down to it in about 15 minutes.
Absolutely, Garrett. And like you said about Columbia City, they're 14-4 coming in tonight. They're currently second in their conference in the Northeast 8 Conference, behind Belmont, who are 4-0, who they actually just played before this game, and they lost 41-53. Not a great thing. I mean, they were on a pretty long streak starting from East Noble on the 21st of December until against Carroll on the 8th of January. So they were on a pretty good streak of wins before that game against their conference team, Belmont.
Yeah, and it looks like, like you said, they've had a lot of wins and just a couple losses. But I'm looking here, they got a lot of 5'6", 5'9", 5'6", 5'8" girls. So where we got a couple 6, let's see, we got some 5'7", 5'4", we got a 5'2". So we kind of look at the same height in that aspect. So I think, it's going to be a lot of, we have, when we played Northwood, we've seen Northwood had a lot of height on them.
A lot of height, a 6'2" girl.
And we didn't have as much, right?
No.
So tonight's going to be, we're going to see around the same height of players tonight. And so, maybe making a 3 that maybe some of those 3s won't be made, or a layup or whatever. So it's just a lot of things kind of lay out here for tonight's broadcast. And we'll see what happens.
And I'm excited to see it, Garen. I hope you are too. When we come back, we'll have the coaches interview and talk more about the Lady Warriors next on CPG-TV and the IHSAA Champions Network.
Wawasee Warrior Basketball is brought to you in part by Brian Wheatrick with Hahn Auctioneers in Napanee, offering real estate auctions, personal property auctions, and appraisal for over 30 years. Brian Wheatrick with Hahn Auctioneers at 1203 East Market Street in Napanee, serving northern Indiana and southern Michigan. 574-268-4940 and online at HahnRealtyandAuction.com.
Wawasee Warrior Basketball is brought to you in part by Northern Lakes Insurance in Syracuse, offering a wide variety of consumer and business insurance with group health plans. Northern Lakes Insurance behind McDonald's at 201 East Palm Drive in Syracuse, 574-457-5931, and online at northernlakesinsurance.com.
Wawasee Warrior Basketball is powered by Sox Marina, servicing all the area lakes for over 60 years, offering Viaggio and Trifecta pontoons and smoker craft fishing boats, all powered by Mercury and Tohatsu outboards, and a line of XL hunting boats powered by Mud Buddy surface drive motors. Sox Marina on Webster and Barbie Lakes or online at soxmarina.com.
Wawasee Warrior Basketball is brought to you in part by Jeremy Dorr at Remax Partners in Syracuse, offering a full complement of real estate services specializing in working with buyers and sellers of residential properties. Jeremy Dorr at Remax Partners, 300 South Huntington Street in Syracuse, 574-518-0492, and online at jeremydorr.com.
Wawasee Warrior Basketball is brought to you in part by South Shore Social at 10601 North State Road 13, Syracuse, offering an entertainment and dining experience featuring golf and multi-sport simulators, darts, shuffleboard, elevated cuisine, and handcrafted cocktails, including a martini and bourbon lounge. South Shore Social, just north of Wawasee Middle School, 574-337-3131, and online at southshoresocial.net.
Now back to Lady Warrior Basketball on CPG-TV and the IHSAA Champions Network.
We are back here at the Wawasee High School in the Hardwood TP, where the Wawasee Lady Warriors are hosting Columbia City. Earlier today, Wawasee teacher Mr. Van Loo had a chat with Coach Derek Gilreath about tonight's matchup.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Van Loo, alongside Coach Derek Gilreath of the Wawasee Lady Warriors. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing well.
Okay, well, we got a little snow on the ground today that I don't know was in my forecast yesterday.
It wasn't in mine.
And some colder temperatures next week, so we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But your Lady Warriors have been playing some great ball, 12-5 currently. The season up until this point, can you give us some things you wanted to share with our audience tonight?
Well, I mean, it's girls basketball is a really long
12-5 if they didn't do that, correct?
Correct.
All right. Well, it's another game tonight, but it's home here at the Hardwood TP, and it's against Columbia City, 14-4 on the season, and they got this young lady, Addison Baxter, who's their point guard and has committed to Butler playing ball. So tell us a little bit about Addison and the Lady Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, she's just an all-around really good player. I mean, she can score and get her points, but it's really impressive the way that she just elevates the play of everybody around her. They have other good players, but just the attention that she draws allows the rest of them to be able to really attack off the dribble. And she kind of makes them go on both ends of the floor. She's really active defensively, gets a lot of deflections, and she's similar to like Kenzie Ackerman for us, and the fact that a lot of the steals that some other girls get come because of the pressure that she is putting on people, and she just she does everything for them, and just a heck of a basketball player, and there's a reason she's going to be a Division I point guard.
Yeah, well, but there's 4 more players that also have to play with her, and of course you're 5. So what are the offensive and defensive keys tonight to stick with Columbia City and hopefully pull out a win?
Yeah, well, I think for us, first we have to contain their dribble penetration. They run a lot of dribble drive type offense, and they're extremely quick, and they finish well at the rim. But then also, if you have to overhelp because you're getting blown by, now they can knock down open shots. So we need to make sure we're doing our job on the ball, not getting beat. And then some of the other ones, they're just, because of how aggressive they are on defense, we need to attack on the offensive end and not be passive and allow them to be aggressive. We need to use their aggression against them, so to speak, but attack on offense. And then as always, like we have to rebound the basketball better. Northwood, we got out rebounded 50-25. And especially when you're not shooting the ball well, there's not a whole lot you can do if you're being limited to, one shot and you're giving them multiple shot attempts and you're not shooting the ball well. So we got to make sure we, finish defensive possessions with a rebound.
So the ladies after that Northwood game probably kind of had it already figured out what went wrong during that game, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, we shot 17.8% from the field, and you're not going to win many varsity basketball games shooting that percentage no matter what else happens in the game. We only had 7 turnovers. We forced, I believe, 12. So we won that battle. We held them about 10 points below their average. I feel like we executed well on offense, but you got to hit the shots. And, that's the name of the game. The ball has to go through the hoop for any of that stuff to count. So.
Well, as one of my colleagues here at Wawasee High School always said, the round thing needs to go through the round thing, right?
Yep.
His name's Alan Koblenz, by the way. So, all right. Well, Coach Derek Gilreath of the Lady Wawasee Warriors.
Board games, pizza and pop for the first night. Brook Point Resort, just west of Burger King on Bowser Road in Syracuse. 574-457-4466 and online at brookpointresort.com.
Wawasee Warrior Basketball is brought to you in part by Scott Gingrich with the Gingrich Group in Milford. We are a full-service realty company, including property management services in Kosciuszko and surrounding counties. Our goal is to be a trusted advisor for you before, during, and after your transaction. Scott Gingrich with the Gingrich Group, here to help make your home dreams happen. Located downtown Milford at 120 South Main Street or online at thegingrichgroup.com.
Wawasee Warrior Basketball is brought to you in part by Chubby's Pub and Grub in Syracuse, offering a full menu including daily lunch and dinner specials with a family room. Chubby's Pub and Grub at 1201 South Huntington Street in Syracuse. 574-457-3855.
Wawasee Warrior Basketball is brought to you in part by Dynamic Spine and Rehab Center, 106 East Pickwick Drive in Syracuse, offering chiropractic, personal training, and rehab services that will get you back into the game. Dynamic Spine and Rehab Center, east of Dairy Queen in Syracuse, 574-457-7472, and online at dynamicspinesyracuse.com.
Now back to Lady Warrior Basketball on CPG-TV and the IHSAA Champions Network.
Welcome back to the Hardwood TP here at Wawasee High School, where the Lady Warriors are soon to play the Columbia City Eagles. We've got about less than 3 minutes before the action.
And so that's going to be interesting because, Wawasee is going to come out, Columbia City is going to come out, so it's just going to be who's going to be ready to play. And we talked about at Northwood at halftime, who's going to come out with that fire. And I think both teams are going to come out. Wawasee has had a couple days of rest, so now they're ready to come back out there and play. And so is Columbia City, don't get me wrong. So, yeah, it's going to be whoever wants to come out and whoever's ready to play. But I think one of the things for tonight is they got to think smart. Where should the ball go at what time? Who should be passing the ball? Where should I be? It's all those things come into matter. I think it's going to be a good win for the Warriors.
Both teams want to get a win since they both just came off a loss. Now, something I want to talk about this Columbia City team. There's a girl on their starting girl for this team named Addison Baxter. She is a Butler commit for basketball. She is a senior. She's a 5'9" guard. Tonight, if she scores 15 points, she will become the all-time leading scorer. Now, to give some background information, when they played Carroll on January 8th, she became the all-time leading assist player at Columbia City. So 15 points tonight, she can have both titles.
Yeah, and that'd be a real success for her and getting both titles of that for her team and going into college. Butler is one of those colleges. She's going in a D1 player. There's got a lot of competition ahead for her and a lot of high expectations for her, too.
I mean, the coach, when we talked to her, Coach Shear said she's been averaging 17 points per game. That is the most points we've seen per game so far this year. As the time is running down, Garrett, I'm excited.
I am too.
The
Here we
crowd
go.
is building up. Fans are getting ready as everyone's starting to stand up for the PA announcer to join us in the game.
Good evening, basketball fans, and welcome to the Hardwood TP. Tonight's varsity game features the Columbia City Eagles against your Wawasee Warriors. Before we meet the teams, please stand and gentlemen remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
Always lovely to hear the national anthem. A little bit of technical difficulties, which, well,
you'll have that.
They'll have them.
It's just how it is. So.
Now, Garrett, as they're about to do the starting lineup
we'll just have to find out.
Now, Garrett, let's go into the starters for Columbia City.
Yeah, number 10, Lainey Ziliak. She's a guard. She's a 5'6" senior. Freshman, a forward, a 5'9" junior. 14, Ariana Tonkol. Number 30, a guard, a 5'6" senior, Olivia Kidd. Number 32, a forward, a 5'8" junior, Tora Holler. And number 33, a guard, a 5'9" senior, Addison Baxter.
And as for your Wawasee Lady Warriors, it's a similar group of girls since the beginning of the season. Number 4, Lucy Wilkinson. Number 10, Mackenzie Hackelman. Number 23, Ava Couture. Number 30, Molly Beer. And number 32, Olivia Horn. All senior group for the Wawasee Lady Warriors, but a very tough and confident group.
A very tough group, and like I've said it again, and I'll say it again. They can stay tough if they come out there and show what they can do. And I have no doubt that Columbia City is going to come out and show what they can do also.
Garrett, I'm excited. I'm back to be up here in this booth. Only been 3 days, but it feels like it's been a month.
Oh, yeah.
A nice presentation was shown by Wawasee. We haven't seen a presentation from the Warriors in a little while, so maybe something different could be tonight.
Well, anything can happen. That's the thing. Anything can happen with any of these teams. They have good records, so it's just going to be who is on top, who is the better one coming out of this competition.
Warriors versus Eagles, a big matchup here at the Hardwood TP. I'm Joshua. Alongside me is Garrett as the ref has the ball, getting ready to start this game. The ref blows the whistle. It's game time. Ball is up and goes Wawasee's way. Hackelman with the ball, looking around, high pass, but stolen by Columbia City. Pass over to Baxter. She drives inside, spins around, backs out, guarded by by Wilkinson. Baxter gets a screen, trying to get past Wilkinson, drives inside, goes for the shot, and gets the nice layup.
Oh, that was a very good layup by number 14, and that's just the way to kickstart this game. Get it rolling here.
Couture passes to Horn, tries to get past to Hackelman, but loses it. Kidd with the ball, dribbling down the court, goes for the shot, but foul on Couture.
Number 33, Addison Baxter made that two-pointer. Excuse me. Get mixed up there.
23, Couture, her first, team's first.
Foul's already starting for Wawasee. 2-0, 7:24 left in this first period.
You know, we see Columbia City already at the line to shoot a free throw, and she makes it. That's just an extra way to get your team some extra points here to start this game off strong.
3-0, Kidd makes her first and her second. 4-0, Columbia City leads. Wilkinson, pass to Hackelman, to Beer, back to Wilkinson, looking around, trying to get past, bounce to Hackelman, outside to Horn. She's at the right wing, pass inside to Hackelman. She almost loses it. Ball's on the ground, jump ball.
It's the first jump ball of the night, and, you know, I don't know if we're going to see a lot of those tonight. I think if Columbia City stays on their offense and keeps passing the ball, I think it's going to end up being good.
4-0, Columbia City with the ball. Baxter, 13 points to break the all-time record. Passes it to Tonkel. It down inside of Baxter, but ball bounced out of bounds. Still Columbia City ball.
That's just, she bounced out of bounds there. She was trying to drive in. Now, is she she's breaking the title for the state, right?
For the team.
For the team.
13 points to break the team all-time record for scoring. Baxter with the ball. Passes out to Kidd for the three. Misses. Rebounded by Baxter and gets the shot.
Baxter is one of those players. She's going to be right there when she needs to be there. She rebounds the ball. She takes the ball.
Stolen by Baxter. Goes for the tough layup. Sends her to the free throw line.
Baxter heads to the
You know, we've seen that at when Northwood came. There were those players that, you know, it didn't matter what was going on. They were there, and they were ready to rebound the ball, take the ball in the paint, do whatever it needed to be done. And I think she's going to show that tonight. And, you know, all the other players are too. It's just going to be who's awake and who's ready to go.
Baxter misses her first. She got the layup and then stole the ball right back to go for a tough layup that sent her through the free throw line. For her second is up and in. 7-0 Eagles lead with 6:36 left. Wilkinson passes back to Hackelman, over to Beer, to Wilkinson. Trying to get past half court, she does, to Horn. Horn at the left wing, pass to Wilkinson. At the left corner, trying to get past her defender. Bounce pass to Horn, looking around. Bounce pass over to Beer. Trying to go somewhere, to the top of the key, over to Wilkinson. Wilkinson setting a play for the team. Trying to get a play ready. Pass to Couture. Over to Beer. Beer at the left wing. To the top, Hackelman. Bounce inside to Horn. Back up to Couture. To Wilkinson at the right wing. To Couture. Good defense by Columbia City. Hands off to Wilkinson. Almost loses the ball. Bounces out of bounds. Wawasee ball.
One thing I see on that Columbia City defense that you were talking about, they really get their hands up there. They try to block the offense of Wawasee and try to do what they can to get that ball back into the offensive mode.
Wilkinson, pass to Hackelman. She's at the right wing, drives inside, backs out to Couture. Nice pass, but missed the shots. Rebounded by Hackelman. Goes for her inside layup, misses. Rebounded by Beer. Trying to get the ball out. Ball scrambling. Horn gets it, goes for her shot. Fouled.
Horn to the line to
Lots of shots inside the paint. Now sending Horn to the free throw line.
Well, they like to stay inside that paint, try to get a layup if you can, and that's, you know, nothing wrong with that at all. And here she is, Horn at the line to shoot. Two.
Horn for her first. Is up and no good. Horn shoots 52% from the free throw this season. For her second. Up and no good. Rebounded by Baxter. Taking it down the court. Guarded by Wilkinson. Pass inside to Tonkel for the shot. Misses. Ball was by Couture. Almost stolen by Baxter. Baxter was really trying to pick it out of Couture, but ball bounced out of bounds.
Well,
last touch by Baxter.
Tonkel had the ball there, and she tried to kind of backwards lay it up. She should have ran out on the right side of the paint, tried to turn around and shoot from that side. Instead, she tried to do it backwards, and it didn't work.
Wilkinson to Horn. Gets past half court. Bounce pass to Couture. Tries to drive inside. Bounces all the way to Beer at the left wing. Almost loses the ball. Pass to Wilkinson. Trying to find something. needs to get a point on the board. Hackelman to Horn, driving inside, double team, trying to get a shot, can't. Ball pass tipped. Beer with the ball, passes it to Horn. Really tough pressure by Columbia as Couture takes a three, misses, rebounded by Holler. Holler taking it down the court, pass to Baxter. Baxter drives inside, stolen by Horn. Couture gets the ball, driving it down the court, 3v1. She goes for the shot, misses, rebounded by Beer. Bounce pass to Wilkinson, getting guarded by Baxter. She drives inside, trying to find a shot, goes to Horn, loses the ball. Ball's going the other way. Beer passes it to Hackelman, to Horn. Needs to get a pass to Wilkinson for the three. Misses, rebounded by Baxter. Baxter bounce pass to Tonkel. Tough layup, fouled.
Well, something I seen there is she ran into the paint, right? And she ran under the hoop a little bit. She should have stopped and tried to shoot it, but she had that forward motion, and that's what made her lose the ball and lose control of what she had. But she's a very strong player, too, as I seen. I think she kicked the ball down here when Wawasee was passing it around on their offense. I'm surprised she didn't get called for that, but here she is at the free throw line. And
she made her first. Subs for both teams. Columbia City subbed in Hurdle and Nelson. Wawasee subbed in Kroll as the second one goes in for Tonkel. 9-0, Wawasee not a point on the board with 4:20 left in this first period. Kroll pass to, but bounces out of bounds.
She really didn't have a hold of it. It just kind of rolled off her arm and into the student crowd there.
Columbia's ball.
I can just sense that Columbia City's in here and they mean business, and so should we, just as much as they do.
Baxter passes to Tonkel for the three. Misses. Rebounded by Holler. Pass to Baxter. Inside pass to Nelson for the easy shot inside. 11-0, less than 4 minutes in this fourth period. Hackelman passes it to Couture, over to Horn. Trying to drive inside. Passes it, but stolen by Baxter. She's driving down the court, guarded by Wilkinson. Goes for a spin around shots. Goes for the shot, misses. Rebounded by Wilkinson. Wilkinson looking for a pass or a shot. Get any points on the board. Passes it to Horn. She's at the right corner. Passes to Hackelman. Looking. High pass over to Kroll inside. Travel on Kroll.
She should have dribbled the ball. She held on to it too much and started walking with it. She should have dribbled the ball, pick it back up, and go for the shot.
30-second timeout called by the Warriors, and wow, what an explosive start for Columbia City.
I told you they were going to come out with fire, and I don't think I was wrong. And, you know, I am wrong sometimes. I don't think I was wrong tonight, you know. And Wawasee needs to do the same. You know, they got to come out there and do it. And they've shot a couple threes, they've shot some twos, but the ball just keeps going around. Like the coach and Mr. Van Loo was talking about in the coach's interview, the round thing has to go in the round thing. So
I was going to mention that, but you got there before me.
We got to try to get there, and it's just going to be what it is. But I think Columbia City they're showing business right now. They mean business. They know they got a job to do. Coach, you know, they just had a timeout, so whatever they drew up, they're going to try to run, and we'll see what happens here.
One thing I want to point out about Columbia City, the entire time Wawasee's had the ball, they've done a full court press, and it's been working very well against the Warriors. Baxter with the ball. Pass, trying to get past Wilkinson. Passes over to Tonkel. Loses the ball. Stolen on the floor, almost stolen by Hackelman, but goes to a jump ball. Back Columbia City's way.
Columbia City just keeps getting the ball, just keeps staying on their offense, and you know, there's nothing wrong with that. I think they're very strong on their offense. It's been shown here, you know, in these scores and stuff we have. So, yeah, I think this is, you know, all things are going to be good to be considered.
Correction, Wawasee ball.
Oh, okay.
Wilkinson.
Sorry about that.
With the ball, trying to get past the defender. Driving inside. Backs out to Horn. Horn tries to get a pass off, but deflected. Baxter, easy lane to the paint and goes for the nice layup. 7 points for Baxter tonight. Pass to Hackelman, to Kroll. 2:53 left, 13-0. Wilkinson. High pass over to Hackelman, trying to get something past the Horn, the left wing. Wilkinson to Couture. To Hackelman. Back to Wilkinson for the three. Misses. Rebounded by Couture. And first points on the board.
It's good to see, Wawasee getting on the board, and maybe that's just a spark for something. They're going to try to get up to the Eagles and finish this first quarter out what they can.
Baxter drives inside, goes for a tough layup, misses, rebounded by Couture. Couture with the first points for Wawasee, passes to Hackelman. Hackelman trying to get past before she falls over, goes to Couture, but stolen by Baxter as she's free down the lane and gets the easy layup once again.
That's the second time I've seen it tonight. Baxter get the ball and just run it down the court and make a layup. Perfect.
9 points for Baxter. Wilkinson with the ball at the right wing. Tries to find a pass, goes to Couture at the top of the key to Hackelman. Hackelman looking around. Bounce to Wilkinson, but almost stolen by Baxter. And ball goes Columbia City's way.
And they all go to it at once. They want to try to have possession of that basketball. And I think that's very important. Go ahead, Josh.
Subs for Columbia City. Number 10, Ziliak's back in, and so is number 32, Holler. Both back in the game with 1:42 left in this first period. Wawasee down by 13 with Baxter with the ball. Baxter looking around. Passes it. Trying to get it past the hurdle, but just could not. It slipped right out of her hands, going out of bounds.
Yeah, like you said, she tried to have a pass there, and she thought she was there and ready, but it slid out of bounds, and she didn't have a hold of it.
Hackelman to Kroll to Wilkinson, trying to get past half court. She does. Drives inside, backs out to Horn. Goes to the top of the key, bounces to Kroll inside, almost loses it. Back out to Hackelman to Wilkinson for the three. Yes! Wilkinson gets the three-pointer, bringing his lead down to 10.
Beautiful three.
Open person for Columbia City as she goes for the shot inside the paint. Misses, rebounded by Hackelman. Wilkinson made the three, cutting his lead down to 10. Hackelman with the ball. Hands it off to Couture. Goes for the three herself. Misses, rebounded by Nelson. Baxter with the ball. 48 seconds left in this first period. Wants to drive inside. She does. Goes for the shot inside. Misses the spin around shot. Rebounded by Wilkinson. Wilkinson getting past Baxter. Wide open, trying to get something. Goes to Couture. Over to Kroll. Kroll to Couture. Couture looking for a pass. Goes to Hackelman at top of the key. Trying to get something. 23 seconds left. Hackelman looking. Still looking. Gets a pass to Couture. Backs out to the right corner. 16-15. Couture trying to get past before she gets a 5-second violation. Tries to get it to Kroll. And we get another jump ball.
Well, there was a lot that went on there. Number 14, number 20, Leah Hurdle. She held she held Couture in that corner there and had her arms up, went around and tried to keep her from passing the ball, and it went out of bounds there. Junk ball.
Wilkinson fakes the pass, drives inside, misses the layup, rebounded by Horn. 2-1, misses her shot, and ball was rebounded by Hurdle. 15-5, Warriors are down by 10 at the end of the first period. We'll be back with more Lady Warrior basketball on CPG-TV and the IHSAA Champions Network.
Hi, this is Vince Beasley. Wawasee Warrior Basketball is brought to you in part by Northern Lakes Realty. We are a full-service realty company helping you buy and sell homes, as well as assisting you in any other real estate needs. Northern Lakes Realty has a hometown realty team ready to serve you. We are located across from Pickwick Theater in Uptown Syracuse. 574-457-2880 or online at nlrealtyllc.com.
Wawasee Warrior Basketball is brought to you in part by Wallace Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling in Syracuse. They can help the residential or commercial customer with in-floor heat systems, high-efficiency tankless water heaters, lift stations, sewer connections, septic services, and well repair. Wallace Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling in Syracuse. 574-457-9313 and online at wallacephc.com.
Now back to Lady Warrior Basketball on CPG-TV and the IHSAA Champions Network.
And we're back here live at the Hardwood TP as the Wawasee Lady Warriors are down 5 to Columbia City Eagles 15. As Columbia City starts with the ball, Ziliak passes inside to Holler. Tries to go for a shot, but blocked by Couture. Goes over to Hurdle at the right corner. Drives inside, goes for the shot, but fouled by Hackelman.
Well, Hurdle really tried to get on there on the left side of the paint, right? And she tried to drive in, shoot the ball, but she was a little slow at it, and the ball kind of rolled on the ground and missed the hoop there like she was trying to get it to go into.
Hurdle makes her first. 16-5, Warriors down by 11. Her second goes up and in. 17-5, 7:43 left in the second period. Wilkinson pass to Hackelman. Over to Kroll, back to Wilkinson. Trying to get passes around, not letting that full press happen. Goes over to Beer. Over to Kroll, bounces back to Beer. Hands off, but almost losing it. Back to Beer again. Goes to Kroll at the right corner. Passes it to Hackelman for the three. Misses. Rebounded by Hurdle. Hurdle, high pass, but stolen. Swatted away by Hackelman, and Wilkinson gets the ball. Wilkinson looking, passes it to Kroll. Over to Hackelman at the right corner. Goes for the three. Misses. Rebounded. But foul.
You know, you talked about them, Wawasee, doing that full court press, and they've been doing it a lot lately. And they really get down on their end of the court, try to spread out, get the ball, and you know, I think that's really good. And that shows that they want to get on their offense. That is the main part to this.
Hackelman tries to pass inside, but stolen by the newly sub Baxter. She goes for the drive inside. Easy layup. That puts her at 11 points tonight. 4 more, and she breaks the all-time leading scoring record at Columbia City. Ball going all around now to Wilkinson. To Hackelman. Back to Wilkinson by the logo. Trying to set up play. 5:19. Wilkinson going, looking. Passes it to Beer. Beer over to Couture. Couture looking around. Wawasee players moving all around, trying to get opening. Passes it to Beer. Looking. Still can't get past or inside the paint. Bounce inside to Hackelman. She goes for the midi. It misses. Rebounded by Baxter, but poked out by Couture. Retrieved by Baxter. 6 minutes left in the second period. 19-5. Baxter passes it to Tonkel. Over to Holler. Almost bounces out of bounds to Ziliak. Ball's back with Baxter. Back to Tonkel. Over to the right corner is Holler. She drives inside, but fouled.
Well, you know, Holler, she tried to drive inside there on the right side of the paint. I mean, she really wanted that. She just kept going and got that foul there, but she's at the free throw line now and shooting for 2.
Holler for her first tonight is up. Is missed. Subbing in for the Warriors, number 32, Horn. Holler for her second. 5'8" junior for Columbia City. Is up and no good. Rebounded by Beer. Foul on Columbia City.
Fouls on 14, Anissa Tonkel.
Correct. Tonkel gets her first.
You know, now Columbia City, you know, they're all down here on Wawasee's side of the court. Got their arms spread out, you know, ready to find that basketball, getting on number 32. You know, they're ready to get this thing.
With the ball is Beer. Almost loses it. Game double teamed. Whistle blown. Foul on, seems to be
Fouls on number 10,
Ziliak for Columbia City. Third foul for Columbia City this period. Couture to pass it in. Passes it to Wilkinson. Wilkinson passes it to Kroll. Looking, passes it to Couture. Tries to get the ball smacked, doesn't. Kroll passes side to Horn. She goes for the inside shot, but smacked out by Tonkel.
I'll tell you what, Holler was right there, had her hands up, stretched out over the ball as she went to go try to put it in the hoop, and she just couldn't do it. So Yeah, well,
Wilkinson trying to find a pass. High pass over to Couture near the logo. Goes over to Kroll, to Wilkinson at the right wing. Trying to get something. Getting defended by Baxter. Looking, dribbling around. Pass inside of Couture for the nice, easy layup.
Easy layup by Couture. Just slid right into the paint, put her arm around the hoop, and made that.
7-19, high pass from Baxter to the left corner. Missed shot. Rebounded by Baxter. Passes it to Tonkel for the easy shot inside the paint. Proving why Baxter is the all-time leading assist in a career at Columbia City. Ball going back and forth between Couture and Wilkinson. Wilkinson passes it to Beer inside the paint. Goes for the nice layup.
They're kind of getting the rhythm now on what's going on. They still got a lot of work to do, but they're getting there.
Baxter goes for the tough layup, misses, rebounded by Beer. Beer taking it down the court. Looking, tries to get a pass over. Looking, doesn't want to get a violation. Passes it to Wilkinson near the middle logo. Wilkinson gets a screen, still getting defended by Baxter. Horn to Beer. Gets a screen. Bounce pass to Kroll. Over to Wilkinson. She's at the right wing. Looking. Trying to get something. Passes it to the top of the key. To Kroll. Bounce pass to Horn. Goes to something. Goes for the inside shot. Nice layup by Horn.
Very good layup by Horn. She come right into the paint. There was a lot of passing the ball around on outside of the key, and she finally had that in her possession.
No whistle blown after the shot by Baxter. Players were seeming there was going to be a whistle. Ball going all around to Beer for the three. Misses, rebounded by Baxter.
That three was a little too high there.
Ziliak passes it to Tonkel for the three. Nails the three.
Very good three made by Tonkel. She was right where she needed to be. Had her arms up at that right height just to get it up in the air and land it into the hoop.
Bounce pass to Wilkinson as she drives down. Almost loses it, but does lose it to Tonkel. High pass goes to Baxter. Can she get it before out of bounds? She does. Passes to Tonkel and gets the nice inside shot.
There it is again. Just pass the ball. Pass the ball. Stay on it. Do the business you need to do.
Full timeout, Warriors.
Wawasee calls a 60-second timeout. We'll be back with more Lady Warrior basketball on CPG-TV and the IHSAA Champions Network.
Wawasee Warrior Basketball is brought to you in part by Quality Engineered Services in Syracuse. Manufacturing dash assemblies and wiring harnesses, primarily supporting OEM boat manufacturers and other products including marine, bus, automotive, and more since 2017. Quality Engineered Services at 1101 North Indiana Avenue in Syracuse. 574-457-3988 and online at theqes.com.
Now back to Lady Warrior Basketball on CPG-TV and the IHSAA Champions Network.
Hardwood TP as the Wawasee Lady Warriors are down 11 to the Columbia City Eagles 26. Garrett, we have 3 minutes left in the second period. I want to say this has been a very, very competitive game.
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of dominance on that Columbia City team. They came in, did business. There's 26 points on the board. Number 33, Addison Baxter's leading with 11 right now. So, yeah, I think there's been a lot of dominance on the team. I just think Wawasee, I'd like to see them show more dominance, know what they're doing at the right time and when they're doing it.
Bounced in to Wilkinson with less than 3 minutes left in the second period. Wilkinson driving down, guarded by Kidd. High pass over to Couture to Hackelman in for the three. Misses, rebounded by Nelson. Ball goes to Baxter. She needs 4 points to break the record. Looking for a pass, goes over to Hurdle. Hurdle drives inside. Bounce pass, backs out to Kidd. Baxter goes for the inside shot. Misses, but fouled.
Baxter to the line to shoot two.
Baxter, she really means business. She really moves the ball and is there when there's a rebound and all those things. Like this
She's
Columbia
everywhere.
City team, yeah, exactly. they want to get on that offense, and they want to stay on that offense as long and as best as they can. And they're really proving it.
Her first is in. 3 points till the record. 12 points for her tonight, leading for the Columbia City Eagles. Her second is up and good. Make that 13. Hackelman, high pass to Wilkinson.
Very high pass.
2-on-1 on Columbia City's side. Screen by Horn, looking for a pass. Bounces to Couture, but loses it. Foul on Couture.
Team's fourth.
Foul on Couture, team's fourth. Foul, second for Couture.
Hurdle had the ball, and she was running down there and almost got to the top of the key when the whistle was blown. She wanted to make a 2-pointer somewhere.
Sub in for
Emerson Kroll checks in.
two subs. Sub in for Warriors, Everson Kroll, and for Columbia City Eagles, Isabel Knitter. Passed in to Tonkel. Looking for something. Gets a screen. She's at the right wing. Pass inside to Baxter. She misses. Everyone's standing up thinking she was going to make that. Wilkinson with the ball. Passes it to Beer at the right wing. She drives inside. Backs out to Kroll and now to Hackelman. She's triple teamed. Trying to get past. Goes to Wilkinson at the top of the key. Trying to get a screen. She does. Looking for something. Goes for the three. Misses. Rebounded by Kroll. Kroll passes it over to Wilkinson. To Beer. Over to Hackelman for the three. Bounces all around and hits the top of the backboard.
They were all there for it, though, when it was going to land. They all ran right in there, get the ball. Now Columbia City is in their offense.
Tonkel with the ball, guarded by Hackelman. Looking for a pass. Before she gets a violation, gets one to Baxter. Trying to get a screen. She does. Looks. Dribbling around. Goes for the pass. Going all around now to Tonkel at the top of the key. Drives inside. Jump ball called. Garrett added to the tally.
Number 4. No, she tried to drive around there, and she passed the ball, and just a Warrior player was there and stole the ball and had it in their possession.
28-11. Warriors are down by 17. Wilkinson, 1:03 left in the second period with the ball. Goes over to Kroll. Passes it to Beer. Guarded by Nelson. Trying to get past her defender. Goes to Horn. She drives inside. Goes for the tough layup. Whistle blown.
Well, not really sure what was going on there. Horn tried to drive in and tried to put it up, but number 22, Nelson, was in there to knock the ball out of her hands and looked like kind of hurt her hand there from her face expression, but she's all right, I think.
Horn back at the free throw line. Her first is no good. Subbing in for Columbia City, number 32, Holler's back in the game. Horn for her second is up and in. 12:28, 46 seconds left in this second period. With the ball is Tonkel. Passes it over to Baxter. Over to Holler. Now to Knitter. Going over all around. Back to Baxter. 31 seconds left. She needs 2 points to break this record. She drives inside, backs out, goes for the three. Good three by Knitter.
Very nice three. She was on that left side, just stayed where she needed to be, and put up that three in the right position.
Whistle blown. Foul on Columbia City.
Fouls on 32, Tora Holler.
Holler, her second, team's fifth foul, putting Wawasee in the bonus with 10.5 seconds left in this first half. Horn back at the free throw line, her first. Is no good, bounced all around the rim.
I think something that Wawasee needs to do is just calm down. I think they're a little bit amped up. They just need to calm down a little bit. They may be a little bit stressed out, and they just need to take it easy. She did that the three-pointer there, and she was just a little worried, and they just need to settle down a little bit and just get their mind on where they need to be.
Baxter with the ball with 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Last second shot for Columbia City does not go in. 31 to Wawasee's 12. Garrett, a very competitive game so far, a very defensive game for Columbia City, a very opportunity game for Wawasee.
Well, just because, number 33, Addison Baxter, still hasn't made that record yet. She's 1 point away from doing that, 2 points away from doing that. She's still got time. So that second half of the game still hasn't come yet. They still have halftime to go in and talk about what they need to talk about and do what they need to do to come out here and possibly win this game overall.
Well, like you said, Garrett, as we said, halftime, Eagles lead 31 to the Warriors 12. We'll be back with more Lady Warrior basketball on CPG-TV and the IHSAA Champions Network.
Wawasee Warrior Basketball is brought to you in part by Appleseed Eye Care in Syracuse, offering eye care from local optometrists, which include routine vision care, diagnosis and treatment of eye diseases, and emergency eye care. They offer both budget-friendly glasses and designer eyewear with advanced lens technology and contact lenses. Appleseed Eye Care at 612 South Huntington Street in Syracuse, 574-457-4476, and online at appleseedeyecare.com.
Wawasee Warrior Basketball is brought to you in part by the Wawasee Alumni Association. If you haven't heard, the Wawasee Alumni Association is working hard to raise money and to bring together alumni, parents, and supporters to build pride and community around all things Wawasee. This includes free student admission to sports and performing arts events, free leather jackets, team building activities, scholarships, and more. Find them on Facebook or email them for more information at wawaseealum@gmail.com.
Wawasee Warrior Basketball is brought to you in part by Brian Wietrick with Hahn Auctioneers in Napanee, offering real estate auctions, personal property auctions, and appraisal for over 30 years. Brian Wietrick with Hahn Auctioneers at 1203 East Market Street in Napanee, serving northern Indiana and southern Michigan. 574-268-4940 and online at hahnrealtyandauction.com.
Wawasee Warrior Basketball is brought to you in part by Northern Lakes Insurance in Syracuse, offering a wide variety of consumer and business insurance with group health plans. Northern Lakes Insurance behind McDonald's at 201 East Palm Drive in Syracuse, 574-457-5931, and online at northernlakesinsurance.com.
Wawasee Warrior Basketball is powered by Sox Marina, servicing all the area lakes for over 60 years, offering Viaggio and Trifecta pontoons and smoker craft fishing boats, all powered by Mercury and Tohatsu outboards, and a line of XL hunting boats powered by Mud Buddy surface drive motors. Sox Marina on Webster and Barbie Lakes or online at soxmarina.com.
Now back to Lady Warrior Basketball on CPG-TV and the IHSAA Champions Network.
Welcome back to halftime here at the Hardwood TP in Syracuse, Indiana, where the Lady Warriors are down 12 to the Columbia City Eagles 31. Garrett, give me your rundown of how you think this first half went so far.
Well, it's been a very dominant first half, I think, for the Columbia City Eagles. And, these Wawasee Warriors, they got to come out. They got to give us something. And I don't know what it is they're going to give us, but they got to do something. And, I look at this, and Eagles are up 31-12. And so what are they going to do? What are they going to come out and do? It's kind of a stuck situation.
Yeah.
I see they pass the ball around on their offense, and they do all these good things, and they tried to shoot a couple threes, and they just can't get it in the hoop. And I don't know if it's stress. I don't know if they're, the anxiety has jumped in. I don't know. But something's happening right now.
For me, if I was Coach Derek Gilliath, I'd be like, okay, guys, look. Don't matter about the score right now. We got to focus on these little things. First of all, we've seen this in the entire game. Columbia City does a full press. So you got to make sure, see how we can get these passes and see how we can get down the court quicker. Second, they are defending the paint very well. Even they said in their keys for Columbia City, defend the drive. They really want to defend the
corner, and you got two players pressing in on them. Just certain things got to happen for this Warrior team to get up. Now, let's talk about some of these keys. I'll start with Columbia City. Defend the drive,
which we've seen very respectively for Columbia City.
I would agree, and they've done a really good job at it too. Control the boards and rebound. They've rebounded a lot.
Rebounded a lot, and definitely with Baxter, she's very strong and competitive.
Yes.
When a missed shot happens, she's right there under the paint. Even when Hackelman missed her shot and it bounced above the backboard, 3 or 4 of those girls were right there ready to get it.
Right underneath that hoop, and like you said, she wants to get that ball. She wants to get the reward, and that's to get it on her side and make it in the hoop.
And to get that record as well.
Yeah. And then patience on the offense. I think they've showed a lot of patience. I think they just, okay, this is what we got to work with so far. We got to pass over here. Now we got to go over here, and we got to do these different things that can get us to get the ball in the hoop. And we got to stay on our side, and we got to control what we can control. All these keys that we've talked about this season with different teams, kind of, if you think about it, kind of all add up.
They can all relate to us in some way, even if they weren't for us. They can always impact us, even if we didn't say it or not. Now for Wawasee, like we mentioned prior, contain dribble penetration. They've been doing really good dribble moves for Columbia City, and they've been preventing it a lot, but they're still letting a couple slip passes and dribble moves getting allowed and past them.
Oh, yeah. And a couple of times, one of the players would have the ball, and they'd pass it. Well, then they'd get passed to, and it'd be like, okay, what do I do? I don't know. I have the ball again. Okay, well, that's when you pass it to that next available player. Who's closest to you? That's something to think about. Who's closest to you? Who's around that, okay, yeah, I can pass the ball to, and then she can pass it back to me or to someone else. And like I talked about, I think the anxiety has set in a little bit.
It depends.
They're a little worried. I don't know if, because, they're coming out of a loss and trying to regain their winning streak.
Their confidence.
The confidence in that. We'll just see. I don't know what's I don't know what's being talked about right now in that halftime, and I guess we'll find out during the play.
The only way we'll find out is when they come back on the court for second half action. Now, to sum up the rest of the keys was aggression and movement on the offense. They've been doing pretty well at this, but they need to be more aggressive and more confident. And we said about confidence, play with confidence. That's one of the biggest keys for Wawasee tonight, and they really need to show it coming into the second half, down by almost 20. Well, when we come back, we'll be soon or already into the action of the third period here at the Hardwood TP on CPG-TV and the IHSAA Champions Network.
Wawasee Warrior Basketball is brought to you in part by Jeremy Dorr at RE/MAX Partners in Syracuse, offering a full complement of real estate services specializing in working with buyers and sellers of residential properties. Jeremy Dorr at RE/MAX Partners, 300 South Huntington Street in Syracuse, 574-518-0492, and online at jeremydorr.com.
Wawasee Warrior Basketball is brought to you in part by South Shore Social at 10601 North State Road 13, Syracuse, offering an entertainment and dining experience featuring golf and multi-sport simulators, darts, shuffleboard, elevated cuisine, and handcrafted cocktails, including a martini and bourbon lounge. South Shore Social, just north of Wawasee Middle School, 574-337-3131, and online at southshoresocial.net.
Wawasee Warrior Basketball is brought to you in part by Goshen Home Medical, offering CPAPs, respiratory supplies, and a full line of medical equipment with delivery for over 40 years. Goshen Home Medical at 1501 South Main Street in Goshen, 574-533-0626, and online at goshenhomemedical.com.
Wawasee Warrior Basketball is brought to you in part by Brook Point Resort in Syracuse, offering a family escape getaway featuring a family suite which sleeps up to 7 people, indoor heated saltwater pool, outdoor family cove activities, board games, pizza and pop for the first night. Brook Point Resort, just west of Burger King on Bowser Road in Syracuse, 457-4466 and online at brookpointresort.com.
Now back to Lady Warrior Basketball on CPG-TV and the IHSAA Champions Network.
Well, as we just come back, we are ready to start the game again. This third ref blows the ball out of bounds.
They were, Beer had the ball, and she landed on the floor, and a bunch of Columbia City players fell on the floor and just scrambled for that ball. And kind of looked like scrambled eggs down there, just who can get the ball first, and it went out of bounds there on the bench.
A lot of scrambled eggs on the floor right there. Tonkel gets the ball, passes over to Kidd, gets the screen, looking for a pass at the left wing, passes it to Baxter, over to Tonkel, to the top of the key to Holler, over to Kidd. Ziliak, apologies, over to Baxter. Now over to Kidd, she drives inside. Goes for the shot, misses, rebounded by Beer. Wilkinson looking, trying to get a pass, goes over to Horn. 31-12, 6:50 left in this third period. Bounce pass over to Wilkinson. She's near the top of the key, goes over to Beer. Gets a screen. She's at the right wing, trying to get movement around. Couture at the corner. Looking, hands it off to Horn. But ball hit out of bounds by Columbia City. Wawasee ball.
Columbia City is very strong. They're ready to get the ball out of bounds as quick as they can and see what they can do. And it's very important that when Wawasee does throw it in bounds, that Columbia City player gets her hands up there, tries to keep the ball out of possession and do what they can.
Baxter driving inside. She could break it here. Misses. Rebounded by Kidd and gets the 2-point shot.
That was a very good 2-point shot by Kidd.
Baxter was one-on-one there, but just could not connect. Hackelman passes it to Wilkinson. Almost loses the ball. Back to Hackelman. Violation for Wilkinson. She could not get half court fast enough.
That's something, we talk about that hustle. Got to get down to your end. Got to go. Dribble the ball and run and then pass up. And that's what she should have been doing there.
With the ball is Tonkel. Passes it over to Ziliak. Looking around. Goes over to Kidd to Tonkel. She's at the left wing. High pass over to Holler. Back to Ziliak. In the other corner. Goes over. High pass to Baxter. Going to Tonkel. Foul called on Hackelman.
Wawasee is really racking up the player fouls here, and it's just you're going to eventually have players start to foul out, and you can't have that.
Baxter goes for the shot, misses, rebounded by Horn, almost rolls out of bounds, but retrieved by Couture. Baxter tries to poke out of bounds, goes over to Hackelman at the left corner, low pass to Beer, going all around, stolen by Baxter. It's one-on-one against Wilkinson, bounce pass. Inside, and Baxter gets the all-time scoring record for Columbia City.
That was an amazing shot made by Baxter. She ran right in there and made that. And Columbia City is just fired up.
Amazing pass from Tonkel going over to Baxter. She is now the all-time scorer. Congratulations, Addison Baxter. You are now the all-time assist and all-time scoring leader.
Wow,
incredible.
That was incredible. That's a highlight, and I think both of our broadcasting career there.
I will say Butler is going to get a great player out of Baxter.
I think they got a real treat headed their way, and coach called a timeout and just kind of regroup and refresh and just kind of talk things over, and they're getting released from the timeout and ready to get back playing again.
The hard work has been put in tonight. 15 points for Baxter. Incredible.
Wow.
Incredible. A great thing to see here in our first year as broadcasting for basketball. This is amazing to see.
Now Baxter, she's got to get her bearings about her a little bit and get back out there and make some more points,
And the season's not over, so she can make this lead bigger and bigger.
She can keep going and make it maybe a little tougher for the next person that's trying to run.
Back into the game. Hackelman with the ball at the top of the key. Tries to hand it off. Trying to get any pass. Goes to Wilkinson. 35-12. 5:15 left. Wilkinson still with the ball. Top of the key. Trying to get past anyone. She drives inside. Goes for the shot. Misses the layup. Ball retrieved by Beer. Hackelman at the right corner. Bounces off her own foot. Off the Columbia City's foot. Wawasee ball.
Yeah, it's going to be Wawasee's ball. It tipped off of her foot there and rolled into the out-of-bounds line. You know, hey, now, again, get your hands up there. Try to keep the ball out of their possession. Do what you can. Scramble on the floor.
Bounce pass to Hackelman. She tries to go for a three. Fakes it. Goes to Horn inside. Fouled.
Horn to the line to shoot 2.
Nice shot attempt. Free layup attempt by Horn, but fouled.
Fouled out.
Team's first.
You know, I think this Columbia City team just has come out and had dominance. You know, they do what they know what they can do. And we should do what we know we can do. And I think we'd be all right. But I just don't think we found it yet.
Subbing in for the Eagles, number 20, Hurdle. Horn makes her first. She's 3 for 5 tonight. Her second is up and in. 35-14, Wawasee down by 21. As Columbia City with the ball, passing all around the top, the three-point line, high pass over to Celiak. Goes over, trying to find a pass, still going all around, near the right, left wing. She drives inside, Tonkel with the missed layup attempt. Baxter goes for the shot inside and misses, but fouled.
Just because she made those points there, she's not giving up. She's still getting under there for those rebounds. She's still trying to make those three-pointers, those two-pointers, those free throws, all those things that she can maybe get those numbers up a little bit for her record.
Her first of tonight is up and in. 4 for 5 for Baxter at the free throw line. Kroll is subbed in for the Warriors. Her second is up and in again. 37-14, 4:29 left in this third period. Wilkinson passes it to Couture, now over to Beer. Getting double teamed. Bounce pass to Couture. Bounce pass going all around, but stolen. Pass over to Baxter for the easy layup, but misses. Ball pass back to Baxter inside the paint. Goes over to Hurdle, but stolen by Couture. Foul called.
Hey, Hurdle lost the ball there, and Beer had it in her possession and started running, and then Baxter got it back, and the whistle blew. And yeah, that's just all part of it. You know, you got to come out of those bad times and see what you can do to get it going good for you again.
Wilkinson near the half-court logo. 3:57 left in this third period. Looking around, getting double-teamed, trying to get a pass off. Timeout called. 30-second timeout called by the Warriors. Garrett, I still can't get over the fact that we've just witnessed history tonight.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be history for a long time, too.
Long time.
A long time. And if you think about it, you know, if you go back, and a lot of coaches talk about this, you know, if you do a coach's interview or whatever, you know, a lot of these players are starting to play basketball at a young age. Do the little leagues and the kid leagues, and then you get into elementary and middle school, and then you get to high school, and then that's where it starts to matter a bit, and that's where the practice and all the workouts have started to come in, and then you get to college like she's going to. You know, all this stuff starting to add up, and this is where it starts to show.
It's a similar feeling to me when I did football, when I see all these little league kids doing tackle football, knowing in the next couple years and soon enough they'll be up here at high school playing varsity football for Wawasee.
That's the future for us.
Wilkinson with the ball, 3:46 left. Gets a screen, trying to get past her defender. Pass to Couture. High pass over to Beer at the right corner. Goes for the mid-range, misses. Rebounded by Columbia City. Hurdle gets past, goes inside, passes it to Holler for the inside shot.
And that's good for Holler. You know, that's the point she made on the board, and here she goes. You know, got 2 points.
Ball movement good for Wawasee. Almost loses it Beer. Horn with the ball, passes it to Beer, over to Hackelman. She's at the right corner. She drives. Apologies, Kroll to Beer at the top of the key for the mid-range shot. Misses, rebounded by Columbia City. High pass going to Baxter. She's at the left wing. Looking, she drives inside, goes for the tough layup, but sends her to the free throw line.
I almost wasn't sure if she was going to be able to get over there in time. The ball was flying toward the score table, and I thought it was going to go out of bounds, and she was able to run on there and get that ball. Now she's at the free throw line. Let's see what she can do here.
Molly Bird's third foul tonight, as first free throw is up and in for Baxter. She's only missed one tonight. She's 6 for 7.
Knitter and Kidd check in for the
Two
Eagles.
subs for Columbia City, Knitter and Kidd. As well as Strack is in for Columbia City. Baxter. High fly, lets it fly, and it's in. Wilkinson tries to get a pass, goes over to Beer, to Horn, back to Beer. Looking around, ball bounces off the ground, almost loses it. Wawasee ball. Baxter just knocked it out trying to get the ball, but it rolled out of bounds before she can get there.
Well, and it bounced off of Beer's foot and rolled, and she tried to get there, and it wasn't going to happen for her.
Horn getting double teamed, goes to Wilkinson. Drives inside, goes for the nice layup, misses, rebounded by Columbia City. Almost goes back to Wawasee as ball goes out of bounds.
Baxter had hold of that ball and coming out of the paint, or coming out of the left side of the key there, and she let go of it and it rolled out. They just got to keep a hold of that ball and move it around to different positions and do what you can.
Knitter gets the ball, passes it to Baxter, goes over to Kidd, backs out, trying to drive inside, backs out to Baxter. She goes for the three, misses, rebounded by Couture. Baxter tried to go for the three from the left wing, misses. Wilkinson with the ball now. 2 minutes left in this third period. Goes over to Horn at the right corner. Horn hands it off to Wilkinson. Looking. Still looking. Trying to get any pass, any shot. Hands off to Couture. Almost loses it, but the whistle blown.
Baxter tried to go for that three there, and it bounced off. And, I think, they've set that record now, and now they gotta try to keep going, see what they can do, see what they can make. I like that number 20, Hurdle was already down at her end, at the Wawasee end, to try to get the ball and get it on their offense.
Wilkinson with the ball, 1:40 left in this third period, passes it to Beer at the left wing. Bounce pass to Couture, looking around, getting defended hard. Almost loses it. Passes to Wilkinson for the three. Bingo! She gets it in!
That was a beautiful three made by Wilkinson. She was just at the top of the key, right where she needed to be. Had her arms up, put the ball in for a three.
41-17 as Columbia City drives for a layup, misses, rebounded by Strat as she goes for the shot inside, misses, rebounded by Horn. 41-17, 106 left. Wilkinson with 2 threes tonight. Wilkinson with the ball. Drives inside, goes for the shot, misses. Rebounded by Columbus City. Long pass from Baxter. Missed shot by Knitter, but rebounded by Strat and gets the putback.
2 points for Strack there tonight, and that's pretty good. She's part of getting into the points. She's got a couple points under her belt now, so we'll see what she can do to finish this game out here.
Wilkinson with the ball, 33 seconds left. Tries to drive. She's at the right wing. Looking for a pass. Bounces it to Horn. She drives inside. Goes over to Kroll for the mid-ranger. Misses. Rebounded by Couture. 22 seconds left. Tries to go for a pass. Stolen by Columbia City. Baxter with the long pass to the nice, easy layup to Kidd.
Beautiful by Kidd. She went right in there where she needed to, right? She was on that left side of the paint and just kind of laid it up there right where she needed to be.
2-1 as third period ends. Eagles lead 45-17. We'll be back with more Lady Warrior basketball on CPG-TV and the IHSAA Champions Network.
Wawasee Warrior Basketball is brought to you in part by Scott Gingrich with the Gingrich Group in Milford. We are a full-service realty company, including property management services in Kosciuszko and surrounding counties. Our goal is to be a trusted advisor for you before, during, and after your transaction. Scott Gingrich with the Gingrich Group, here to help make your home dreams happen. Located downtown Milford at 120 South Main Street or online at thegingrichgroup.com.
Wawasee Warrior Basketball is brought to you in part by Chubby's Pub and Grub in Syracuse, offering a full menu including daily lunch and dinner specials with a family room. Chubby's Pub and Grub at 1201 South Huntington Street in Syracuse, 574-457-3855.
Now back to Lady Warrior Basketball on CPG-TV and the IHSAA Champions Network.
And we're here live for the fourth period at the Hardwood TP as the Wawasee Lady Warriors are down 17 to the Eagles 45. Wawasee to start with the ball. Beer bounces it in to Hackelman. Hackelman passes to Couture. High pass back to Beer. Looking. High pass, but loses the ball. Hackelman just could not get her hands on it.
Yeah, she's got to get her hands up there, and she's got to try to get that ball in the offensive mode. And I think we're just struggling in that offensive tonight. I think we're doing good on defense. We're trying to block. We're trying to get around, but we just can't figure it out on the offense.
Hurdle drives inside, backs out to Knitter. She goes and misses the shot. Looked like it was going to go in. So ball stolen, but foul as Kidd was going for the shot.
Kidd was trying to, she was in the paint. She was trying to get it up there on the right side of the hoop. Beer came in, kind of kept the ball pushed down a little bit, made it to go out of bounds.
Kidd to inbound the ball. 45-17, 7:32 left in this fourth period. Tonko goes to the inside shot and gets it in. 11 points for her tonight as the Eagles take a 30-point lead against the Warriors. Couture hands it off to Beer. Goes over to Kroll. To Horn. To Couture at the top of the key. She drives inside. Travel. Ooh. Jump ball on Couture.
Okay, that's interesting. Because
it looked like she took almost 3 steps.
I think she went into the paint and then she kind of stopped, kind of looked around. Columbia City players, they had their hands up and then the whistle blew. That's what I seen.
Columbia City with the ball. Kirtle at the top of the key. Goes over to Ziliak. Kidd at the top of the key. Pass to Hurdle. Hurdle goes over to Knitter. Tries to get a pass over to Ziliak, but just couldn't. It just went right out of bounds.
Knitter passed the ball to the scores table, right? She thought somebody was going to be there. I thought Tonko was going to get around there, get that ball, but she just didn't make it in time, and it ran out.
Wilkinson guarded by Hurdle. Trying to get past. Goes inside the paint. Trying to find a shot. Pass out back to Kroll. Goes to the Couture, but stolen by Knitter. She goes up for the shot and gets the layup.
Another good one made by Knitter.
5 points for Knitter as pass to Hackelman for the 3. Misses. Rebounded almost by Kroll. Seems to be Wawasee ball.
That was past Hackelman for the 3. That was way too high. She kind of needed to slow down a little bit. She was kind of rushing the process there to try to make that 3 happen. It didn't go.
49-17, 6:13 left in this fourth period. Ball's bounced out of bounds by Columbia City.
Columbia City, I think it's pretty well for sure. They're going to finish this game out strong. I'd like to see Wawasee get up there a little bit. Well, what can we do? What are we doing? Hands up, get around there on the key and get in the paint.
Hackelman takes a mid-range shot, bounces it all around the rim as multiple players fall on the ground for Columbia City. Whistle is blown.
Looks like she made that 2-pointer there.
Fouls on number 30, Molly Beer.
Beer.
Fifth, team
Molly Beer gets her 5th.
Fouls on number 10, Hackelman, her 5th.
Apologies. Beer did not get her 5th. Mackenzie Hackelman did.
Yep, she got the 5th.
Hackelman is now out of the game with 5 fouls. Beer subbed in. She has 4 fouls coming in for Hackelman.
So she's on the verge of 5 fouls too. So just everybody's kind of up there. They got just what can we do to stay low? And they really got high on those fouls coming out of the gate here.
With the ball for Columbia City is Hurdle. Ball over to Zalitsky. To Knitter. She's at the right wing. Bouncing all around now to Holler. She drives inside. Backs out. Goes over to Kidd. She drives inside. Goes for the layup. Misses. Rebounded. And missed by Knitter. Ball going all around. Rebounded by Kidd. Getting double teamed. Ball lost and stolen by Beer. Bounce pass over to Couture. 5:26 left in this 4th period. High pass to Kroll. Inside to Horn. She goes for the inside shot. Misses. Rebounded. Kidd passes it over to Ziliak. Goes over to Holler. She's at the left wing. Moving players around. She heads to the top of the key. Back to Ziliak. Hurdle. Goes over to passed around over to Holler. She's at the right wing. Back to Knitter. Goes over all around to Ziliak. Trying to get ball movement going. But ball going all around the top. Now drives inside. Kidd. Bounce inside to Holler. She goes for the inside shot. Whistle blown and makes it Wawasee ball.
Now it's Wawasee ball. Now what are we going to do? We're going to pass the ball to the player. We're going to get around. We should start thinking about things as we start to move and play in our offensive mode.
Wilkinson with the ball. Tries to drive inside, backs out, trying to get a pass, goes over to Couture. Goes for the mid-range shot, misses. Rebounded by Holler. Holler taking it down the court. Goes to give a pass to Ziliak. Whistle blown.
A travel. Travel number 32 got that.
Wilkinson, 4:11 left in this 4th period. Tries to drive inside, backs out to Horn. Goes inside and gets the nice, tough layup.
Wawasee, they got time. They got 4 minutes to get back up there in the program. See, what are we going to do? We got to keep our minds rolling here. Keep our hands up. Keep our legs moving.
Inside pass to Miller, but touched last by Couture, making it Columbia City ball.
Couture wanted that ball really bad, and you can see on her face expression when she missed that ball. She's like, oh, man, I missed it. And now she's back out there in the paint. Got her arms spread out.
Holler for the mid-range shot, misses, rebounded by Horn. She's taking it down the court, 3:40 left. Looking, drives inside, pass, but tipped up and retrieved back by Columbia City. Ball with Hurdle. Bounce pass to Holler. Goes over to Knitter. High pass over to Holler for the 3 and gets it in.
Beautiful 3 made by Holler. I mean, that is her first 3 of the night right there, so that's good to see.
Wilkinson, 52-19, 3 minutes left in this 4th period. Couture getting double teamed. Over to Beer. Beer looking back to Couture. She's at the right wing, drives inside. Pass out to Beer. Over to Wilkinson for the left corner 3. Yes! She gets it in.
Beautiful. And, something about Wilkinson. She gets on those left or right sides of the key, and she just kind of finds her spot and tries to lift up that 3. And she's done it a couple times, and they've been really good.
In the right corner was Holler, passing all the way around over to Hurdle. Hurdle going over to Knitter. Timeout called by Columbia City. 30-second timeout called by Columbia City. 30-point lead for the Eagles, 52-22, 2:24 left.
This coach has got them dialed in. Coach Shearer knows what she wants out of her players, and they're giving it to her.
And she's a very experienced coach. She's coming into this game with a record, a historic record of 211 to 141 in her career. She's been coaching 15 years.
Wow.
Impressive, impressive, impressive. And her team being impressive themselves.
They're just showing a lot of dominance out there on offense. We can keep it up. I see some different players out there for Wawasee. Just one, number 12.
Taylon Tom.
Taylon Tom's out there now. So we'll see what she can do. She's a 5'3 junior. She's a guard. So we'll see what she can do out there and to finish this game up. See if we can't get a couple more points on the board.
Columbia City to inbound. Bounces it over to Strat. Pass it over to Ziliak. Over to Knitter. She drives inside. Gets the layup.
Do it again. She's got a couple twos under her belt and a 3 under her belt tonight. That's good. You got to keep it going.
7 points for Knitter as Wawasee has the ball. Kroll at the top of the key. Passes it to Couture. Ball lost by Columbia City, and Garrett added to the tally. Another jump ball.
Number 6. I don't know why I keep track.
It's one of those. It's
I
one
don't
of
know
those.
what game that started. Was it Goshen?
It was Goshen.
It
was Goshen. We had about 13 in one game.
Wow.
But it's one of those fun things. A lot of jump balls happen in girls basketball.
Yep.
Inside pass to Couture. Misses. Rebounded by Nelson. Nelson passes it to Knitter. Knitter gets a screen. Getting guarded by Kroll. High pass inside, but bounces out of bounds. Columbia City ball.
Columbia City just keeps getting that ball back. Keep getting that ball back. And something I just don't get is why we're giving it to them all the time. We got to keep control on that offense, see what we can do. But, if we stay strong on defense, I think that helps us a little bit.
Ball passed in to Nelson. Nelson tries to bounce it over to Miller, but stolen by Wilkinson. She tries to drive inside, but poked out. Tries to get the ball back, but stolen by Strat. High pass goes inside. Ball tipped off of Kroll's foot, making it Columbia City ball.
That's been happening a lot tonight. Just kind of roll off the foot or kind of roll off the arm or out of the hand and out of bounds. And we got to try, keep our hands around the basketball. That's the only way we're going to gain possession of this.
Columbia City with the ball. Knitter at the top of the key. Letting the ball kind of bounce out with 1:10 left in this fourth period. She heads to the right wing. Trying to get players to move around. Looking. High pass. Almost bounces out of bounds. Pass was over to Ziliak, but she could not get it before it went out.
Ziliak was there, but she wasn't there either. She thought she had it and rolled out of bounds and hit the front of the scores table. Now Beer's going to get ready to throw it in here.
Beer passes into Wilkinson. Wilkinson at the top of the key, trying to get past the defender. Goes for the 3. Misses. Rebounded by Columbia City. Ziliak, but stolen by Couture. She goes in for the easy layup.
Basket's good for Couture.
Good to see Couture.
Yep.
Got another point on the board.
They've had a lot of layups tonight. And, that's good. That's, one way to get your points in there.
Down by 30. Wawasee 24, Eagles 54. 29 seconds left in this fourth period. As ball's moving around, passed over to Ziliak. Trying to get a screen. 20, 19 as Knitter with the ball. Trying to get the ball to run out. She's at the left wing, trying to drive inside, but guarded toughly by Tom. Drives inside, backs out, goes over for the 3. Misses, rebounded by Taylon Tom. 4, 3, 2, 1. Last second shot by Wilkinson. Almost goes in, but hits the front. And that is the game. Eagles have defeated the Wawasee Warriors 54-24. Great, Garrett. A very great game, a very competitive game, but definitely in Columbia City's favor.
Yeah, well, and we talked about before, it was a very dominant game. Columbia City came out. They were on top pretty much the whole game, and they kept possession of the ball, kept on offense, and they did what Coach Shear wanted them to do. And she meant business. Her team meant business. Coach Shear knew what she wanted out of her team, and she got what she wanted out of her team tonight.
Well, score, like we said, 54-24 as Wawasee takes on another defeat. As we are at the end of the game, we'll be back with more Lady Warrior talk on CPG-TV and the IHSAA Champions Network.
Wawasee Warrior Basketball is brought to you in part by Dynamic Spine and Rehab Center, 106 East Pickwick Drive in Syracuse, offering chiropractic, personal training, and rehab services that will get you back into the game. Dynamic Spine and Rehab Center, east of Dairy Queen in Syracuse, 574-457-7472, and online at dynamicspinesyracuse.com.
Hi, this is Vince Beasley. Wawasee Warrior Basketball is brought to you in part by Northern Lakes Realty. We are a full-service realty company helping you buy and sell homes, as well as assisting you in any other real estate needs. Northern Lakes Realty has a hometown realty team ready to serve you. We are located across from Pickwick Theater in Uptown Syracuse, 574-457-2880 or online at nlrealtyllc.com.
Wawasee Warrior Basketball is brought to you in part by Wallace Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling in Syracuse. They can help the residential or commercial customer with in-floor heat systems, high-efficiency tankless water heaters, lift stations, sewer connections, septic services, and well repair. Wallace Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling in Syracuse, 574-457-9313, and online at wallacephc.com.
Wawasee Warrior Basketball is brought to you in part by Quality Engineered Services in Syracuse. Manufacturing dash assemblies and wiring harnesses, primarily supporting OEM boat manufacturers and other products including marine, bus, automotive, and more since 2017. Quality Engineered Services at 1101 North Indiana Avenue in Syracuse, 574-457-3988, and online at theqes.com.
Wawasee Warrior Basketball is brought to you in part by Appleseed Eye Care in Syracuse, offering eye care from local optometrists, which include routine vision care, diagnosis and treatment of eye diseases, and emergency eye care. They offer both budget-friendly glasses and designer eyewear with advanced lens technology and contact lenses. Appleseed Eye Care at 612 South Huntington Street in Syracuse, 574-457-4476, and online at appleseedeyecare.com.
Wawasee Warrior Basketball is brought to you in part by the Wawasee Alumni Association. If you haven't heard, the Wawasee Alumni Association is working hard to raise money and to bring together alumni, parents, and supporters to build pride and community around all things Wawasee. This includes free student admission to sports and performing arts events, free leather jackets, team building activities, scholarships, and more. Find them on Facebook or email them for more information at wawaseealum@gmail.com.
Now back to Lady Warrior Basketball on CPG-TV and the IHSAA Champions Network.
And once again, welcome back to the Hardwood TP here at Wawasee High School as the Lady Warriors were defeated 54-24 against the Columbia City Eagles. Garrett, an amazing game this was. Very defensive effort, a really great effort. But like we said, Columbia City just had that edge over them.
Well, like I talked about before, Coach Shear, she's got a dominant team. She's got a gift, and she should feel very proud at what just took place tonight with her team. She called timeouts or pregame or halftime, whatever, and she knows what her team needs to do, and her team knew what she wanted to do, and they came out on the floor and made it happen. And I think that is absolutely amazing. Wawasee, we played good. We didn't play fantastic, but our defense, I feel like toward the back half of the game, our defense, we got our arms up, we got around where we needed to be, we did what we needed to do, and all those things started to kind of add up. But I think something we need to work on, on offense is making our shots. If you don't think you can make it, pass the ball up to somebody else, and then they pass it, and just kind of go around. And I think we kind of got a little over ourselves in our heads tonight. Kind of freaked out. And there's no reason to freak out. It's a neutral game. Both teams came in with good records tonight, 14-4 and 12-4. So it's just is what it is.
It is what it is. But another thing I would like to say is with these matches in the season, it gives us a good look. Let's not forget Columbia City is in the same sectional as for Wawasee, and sectionals is not too far away. In a couple weeks from now, we will have the sectional draw, so it'll be very, very, very interesting to see who we get.
The first round of sectionals is February 4th, so that is coming up quickly.
For Wawasee, it will be at Fairfield.
At Fairfield.
And with those teams, we've played Fairfield, which is in our sectional. We've now played Columbia City. We've now already played Northwood, West Noble. I believe we also need to play Tippy Valley. Tippy Valley is very soon, and that's another sectional team. So what I love about these games is if you do win or lose, you now know what you need to work on.
Yep.
Because those things is, look, you now know Baxter's a really key player. Handle her. Northwood, you got Claire Payne. Handle her. There's one of those things. Is when it comes sectional time, Wawasee should be ready.
Yeah, and they've already seen him live. They've played him. They've watched the film. They got the film. So now you go back and watch and you practice. Okay, remember, this is what this player did in this corner. So when she goes to that corner, we got to be ready to do this. We got to defend. And when we get the ball, we got to keep the ball away from these players because these players are going to try to steal it. And you just kind of draw things out and think about it and get ready for sectionals because they could possibly see each other again at Fairfield. So we'll see.
The random draw can always happen, and honestly, it's a fair match with any of these teams in our sectional, whether it's Fairfield at Fairfield. That's going to be an interesting one. The game with Fairfield was super close, like we've mentioned. Again, when they played Fairfield, they only lost by 5.
Right.
And that game was neck and neck the entire game. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, even to the fourth. It was a super close game. Fairfield just had that upper head. And the same with Northwood and Columbia City. Dominant games for both teams, but it's a learning lesson for both these teams, for Wawasee to know, all right, now we know what's going to happen next. So give a little update for these teams. Wawasee now goes 12-6 for the record. Columbia City goes to 15-4. Upcoming games for both teams. Columbia City will be playing Huntington North next on January 18th. They've won the last 4 of 5 against Huntington North. The last time they played them was in the sectional last year, and they won 59-43. The average score between these two teams is Columbia City 51 to Huntington North 44. Both pretty big teams, strong teams as well.
And I'm taking a look at Columbia City's schedule and what the final scores were, win or lost. And those games have been very close in scoring. But Columbia City, has either won them or lost in them. But they've been very high and they've been very close. And, I think that's kind of how this game kind of got started. We were getting close, and then Columbia City just took off, and we weren't able to catch up with them.
As for Wawasee, their next game is also on January 18th. They are going to be playing Mishawaka. They are on a 4-game winning streak against Mishawaka. They won 50-27 the last time they played. The average score between these teams is Wawasee 43, Mishawaka 28 between the last 4 games. Hackelman, last time they played, scored 18 points and had 8 steals.
Wow. That is impressive. And Couture played good tonight. She had some rebounds, had some 2s, hit a couple 3s. So all the players played good in their certain positions. And we'll just have to see what happens. Mishawaka, Tippy Valley, all these games coming up here soon.
Absolutely.
Oh, and Plymouth's in there too. Mishawaka, at Plymouth, then home versus Tippy Valley.
I will say 2 conference games in a row that are on the road. That is a pretty interesting schedule for Wawasee to go to 1 game with Mishawaka away, and it's a wow, I just lost my word there. A conference game, and then next you got Plymouth again away, and as well a conference game. That's going to be tough on them. You wanted to get high in the conference. We heard this before. Yeah. They want to be high on the conference.
And high on the scale. And, what can they do? And, what can they do to make things happen? And that's going to be where practice comes in. we talk about practice a lot. We got to be ready to practice and do what we can do to get a win.
One thing I want to say as we're waiting for Coach Gilreath, he's down there talking to some friends and some coaches. But one thing I want to say is in the coach's interview, he said something that really stuck out to me was not only are the players, but the coaches as well are all super proud of the resilience they've had this season. They've been through ups and downs. They've lost a couple players due to injuries, other for personal reasons. But they've been all super resilient this entire year. And with this many seniors, I mean, you got to be resilient. I mean, this is your last year. You want to make it as far as you can.
And you got to do what you can to get there. And that's going to be the race that they have to take and try to win as we get into the tournaments here in a couple weeks.
Garrett, I want to get your thoughts.
Okay.
We've been through 11 home games this year. 10 or 11. It's between the two. I'm not 100% sure. How have you felt the girls have done at home? We've seen with the home crowd, we've seen crowds be huge, filling the stands, some not as much. How do you think the girls are handling this season?
I think they're handling it great. You know, they show dominance on this team. They do what they can. You know, Coach Gilreath may draw a play up or something, and, hey, you know, they try to go out and show it. And that's all you can really ask out of your team is just show it. And, you know, yeah, when you're at home, sometimes they say, oh, you have the home advantage, and you do. But some nights it's not always that way. The majority of nights it has been, but these past couple nights it hasn't. But we got to try to find a way that we can come out of that.
Well, as we're talking about it, Coach Gilreath is up here. Coach, happy to see you. Not a great result.
Coach.
Here, I'll give you the headset. Garrett has a couple questions for you.
Welcome, Coach.
Hello.
Another game under your belt and at home, and how you doing?
I'm here.
I'm here. Yeah. How do you think the team performed tonight?
Not the greatest, especially, you know, just from a turnover standpoint. Feel like that was one thing we did extremely well against Northwood. Only had 7. Tonight, I believe we had right around 22 or so. You know, teams like that's what takes you from, you know, being able to compete to, you know, a 30-point margin. You know, in the half court, I felt like we competed fairly well, but we can't turn the ball over against teams like that can get out and run. And, you know, we got to find ways to take care of the ball when people aren't feeling the best and not able to move like we normally do. We can't have those types of turnovers.
What are some of the challenges your team's faced? You kind of talked about, you know, passing the ball and kind of when things aren't going real good.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're a team that's extremely athletic. You know, starting with, you know, Addison Baxter. I mean, she's a Division I point guard for a reason. She covers a ton of ground at the top and makes things tough. But the rest of them that, you know, don't necessarily get the credit that she does. You know, they're still extremely active on defense. They deny really well, and they use their strengths, which is their quickness. And for us, you know, we got to have more people willing to drive to the basket a little bit, maybe attack their pressure and use it against them. The times when we were aggressive attacking the rim, we had pretty good results. And when we're passive and back on our heels, that's what leads to some of those turnovers.
And, you know, that's important because, you know, that's where practice comes into play. You can kind of work on some of those things and get better and get to where you need to be for Mishawaka. Now, what are the biggest takeaways that are going to be worked on at practice getting ready for Mishawaka?
Well, for us, we need to pursue the basketball a little bit better. Felt like there were a lot of times tonight, whether it be rebounds or loose ball situations, like we may have even had our hands on the ball first, but they still were coming up with the balls. Not necessarily that we were being out hustled, but we have to pursue the ball a little bit better and maybe not just reach for it, like go get it with 2 hands with our body and be a little bit more physical going after basketballs. Secure it before we try to make passes, because I felt like, you know, we broke their press just fine, but it was that secondary pressure. Once we broke it, then we're so frantic to get rid of the ball, and we got to be a little more willing to handle the ball until somebody can come help us out. or just keep on the attack and not be so passive sometimes.
Yeah. So you guys have 4 for sure games left on the regular season, including the first game of sectionals. As the season kind of starts to wind down, how does that make you feel as a coaching staff, as a team, all together?
Well, I mean, it always flies by from a coach's perspective. Like, basketball is the longest season, but once games start, like, you feel like you're just going, and you don't realize how quickly that it flies by or how long that it's been, either when. It goes by fast, and you just try to be in the moment and take every game for what it is and one game at a time. When you mentioned sectionals, I mean, they're a sectional opponent, so we need to figure out ways that, if we would happen to play them again, which if we're going to have a chance of winning a sectional, it's probably going to run through them at some point, and we gotta be able to fix some of those things that we had problems with tonight.
Josh and I were talking about after the game, West Noble, Fairfield, Columbia City, Northwood, in Tippy Valley, I believe. They're in our sectional.
Mm-hmm.
And so you've seen everybody but Tippy Valley. You've seen them live. You've seen them on film. So you know how they work. And so now you can kind of go back and go, okay, if you do happen to go against them again in the sectional, this is how we got to do it. And these are the players we got to watch out for. And it all comes in full circle.
Right, and it's the same thing for them. I mean, the same way they've seen us and know what we like to do. So I think at this point in the season, it's really about shoring up and being really efficient in what you're trying to do, and really kind of focus on ourselves. Yes, we're going to still prepare for every game the same way as we have all season, but we need to really make sure we're focusing on being the best that we can be at what we do.
Yeah, very good. Well, thank you, Coach, for coming up here, and good luck at Mishawaka on Saturday. I know that's away, and then you go away to Plymouth, and then you're back here with Tippy Valley. So thank you for stopping by.
Yep, thank you.
Yep.
Well, that will do it, folks. And thank you for tuning in to tonight's broadcast for Wawasee versus Columbia City. I'm Joshua Pulaski alongside Garrett Lash signing off. We would first like to thank our workers behind, to Mr. Huffman and Mr. Van Loo, doing a great job behind the scenes, doing all the ads and getting that camera work done perfectly. We would also like to thank our sponsors, Brian Wietrick with Hahn Auctioneers, Northern Lakes Insurance, Sox Marina, Jeremy Dorr with RE/MAX Partner Syracuse, South Shore Social, Goshen Home Medical, Brook Point Resort, Scott Gingrich with the Gingrich Group, Chubby's Pub and Grub, Dynamic Spine and Rehab Center, Northern Lakes Realty, Wallace Plumbing, Heating and Cooling, Quality Engineered Services, Appleseed Eye Care, and the Wawasee Alumni Association. Some upcoming broadcasts for us. Friday, January 17th, boys will travel to Mishawaka. They will be on 93.7 FM The Mix. And as for us, you will hear us next on Tuesday, January 28th, as when the girls will host Tippy Valley on CPG-TV and the IHSAA Champions Network. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.